Now, a lot of the pictures you see from the International Space Station come from the cupola on the inside here, right? So the cupola is on node 3, is that correct?
Node 3.
Destin.
Destin.
You got it.
Okay, I got it.
All right, here's the deal. So this is astronaut Don Pettit. You may know this guy. You've done all the like city tracking.
Yeah, I've done a lot of cities at night, and then the nighttime aurora and time-lapse sequences of Earth. Many of those that you see have been done in this module when I was at the helm of the camera.
He's the junk. Let me just say it that way. You're the junk when it comes to space photography, right? Seriously, he's the junk. Like all the really cool aurora stuff, Don's the guy that took it.
I would like to point out that some, if not all of these time lapses taken from the ISS showing star trails are clearly CGI composites, which cannot happen on an orbiting ISS. The star trail time lapses as shown here from the ISS, showing Polaris on a fixed point on the horizon, are impossible. A time lapse from the ISS will have to show the orbital movement or drag of the ISS as the position of the camera is moving in conjunction with the ISS. Since the ISS is moving 16 times faster than the rotation of the Earth, the star trail should be dragging into or away from the horizon 16 times faster than the typical 15 degrees an hour from the surface of the Earth. That means that the background of the time lapse should be frame dragging at a rate of roughly 240 degrees an hour. I'm not sure what craft this so-called cupola is on. One thing I can be certain of is that what you see out of it is straight and flat horizons. The proof is in these photos provided by NASA themselves. Pictures taken from inside the cupola with regular lenses like this one show a much closer Earth, similar to what you will get from a high altitude plane or balloons. Pictures and videos taken with fisheye lenses from inside the cupola is what they claim to be the entire circumference of the spherical Earth. A simple look at the geometry of the cupola windows as they relate to the edge of the so-called circumference of the Earth in this picture clearly demonstrates that the curve on both the windows and the horizon match perfectly. If you were to reverse the effects of the fisheye lens, you will end up with segments of the horizon which are also perfectly straight and level.
Now this is a cover.
Okay.
So we call it a shutter, and it protects the windows from micrometeorites.
Okay.
The shutters are closed, the windows are protected, and also thermally insulates the windows from the radiation environment of space.
So can you shut these things from the outside?
No, you can open and close them from the inside.
And
turning a knob.
And it's
opens
on the outside.
On the outside.
How do you do that and maintain a pressure seal between them?
O-ring type seals.
No, you don't.
With a rotating shack. All our hatch seals are O-ring type seals.
Yeah, but how? My brain's
up here. Let's go inside. We can see it.
Okay.
Watch your head.
All right. Oh.
Oops, thunk. So you have a whole series of O-rings in here, and a shaft that you rotate.
So I mean, like on the space station, how many of these would you have?
7, because we have 7 windows.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak. Then you have a leak. Then you have a leak.
You just have a leak,
and what you would do is
lose air.
Yeah, you would probably seal the whole cupola off, and then there's probably a plan. I don't know off the top of my head, but there's probably a plan for replacing the mechanism. It might require a spacewalk.
So my question is, how can you operate a lid on the outside of the space station by manipulating something mechanical on the inside of the space station without losing air pressure?
It's called real good engineering. Real good engineering. Real good engineering.
Okay, you heard Don Pettit. He said that it takes a really good engineer to design this sort of thing. I'm told the guy quit working on the space program and now owns his own motorcycle parts business. Are you Charlie?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Destin. This guy is Charlie Van Valkenburg. He went to Auburn University as an industrial engineer, and he's got like well over a dozen patents. 20 years ago, he was the lead engineer over the cupola shutter design, but after the project finished, he stopped and went and built his own business. When Charlie's team was working on this, they called it Space Station Freedom, which is a really cool name, by the way. This program morphed into the International Space Station program, and Charlie's drawing package was handed over to the Italian Space Agency so the Italians could fabricate it. Charlie, however, kept an entire drawing package because every good engineer knows you might have to go back and look at what you did. We talked about the handles, we looked at the beveled gears, we talked about the cartridge assembly. Okay, we found what might be the most critical part of the entire drawing package. This is the inner shaft, and you can see right here there are 2 grooves, and those grooves are held to within 0.02 of an inch. The reason that's important is because the interface between the inside of that groove and the outer wall that compresses the O-ring, you have to control that because you're taking a circular O-ring and you're going to squish it to an oval. Is that right, Charlie?
That's correct.
There's another detail to those O-ring grooves, right?
Right, these are the dynamic grooves. Those 2 are the ones that actually are turning.
Did you hear what he just said? He said they're dynamic O-rings. That means there's a shaft running through it actually rubbing on the O-ring. So you've got the air that you're breathing as an astronaut, right? And it's being held back from the vacuum of space by 2 little bitty O-rings. By 2 little bitty O-rings. By 2 little bitty O-rings. That's incredible. That's incredible. That's incredible. So this design that you made 20 years ago is still being operated today flawlessly. How does that make you feel?
I hope it's flawless.
I hope it's flawless.
You're sure that Italy built from our design, right? I never really knew.
You don't know?
I didn't follow up on it, no.
Well, the Italian astronaut said that was how it was built.
Hello, and welcome to the cupola on the International Space Station. In the cupola we have 7 windows, and every window has its own shutter. And Smarter Every Day, with whom I have connected via Twitter, asked me to give you a demonstration of how we open and close the shutters. I guess it's because I'm Italian, and the cupola, you know, was built in Italy. So here we go, it's pretty easy. Each window has a handle that looks like this, and you just turn it, obviously in the closed direction if you want to close the window. And here you can see the window coming closed, or the shutter. And when you get close to the end, to the closed position, you kind of want to be careful because there is no bumper, so you don't want to hit the structure real hard. It's a direct mechanical connection. Shutters can only be operated manually. And it's kind of cool to think that, you know, there is this shaft that goes sort of through the structure. The other side is in outer space. It feels cold, but the regular metal cold, not really, really cold. And again, when you get close to structure, you want to be careful not to hit real hard. So this is it. It's pretty simple.